Now, obviously, his family didn't know, but a week later, you went to the funeral. Why'd you do that? Okay, provisional forensics. This is definitely not one for the brothers back home. This would definitely lead to a lot of awkward questions. So I guess this is how you figured it. You leave the bag, you make the call, they place a warning. There's a bomb on a train somewhere on the line.
Well, originally when the script was written, Tom Bradbury, a wonderful political journalist who's British, spent a lot of time in Belfast, and he wrote this script, and he based it on this female character, and she talked a lot in the original script. And then when we started making the film, and I went to Belfast and I spent time there, it just became more and more apparent that it wasn't actually authentic that she should talk so much, that it was that I kept coming back from Belfast and saying to James, her powers are silence, it's her only silence, it's her only power. And so a lot of the film really is just focused on Colette's eyes, and they take us through her struggle. She's an interesting character because she's really fighting to redefine or even to develop any kind of relationship with her estranged son. Yes, and actually it's not something that I've ever talked about until now. In fact, nobody's asked me that question. We've opened this movie in more than one country and nobody yet's asked me that question. I don't think that it would be as sensational as you might expect. So, you know, part of the really just the most useful parts of backstory are really personal and really pedestrian and not very sensational or interesting, perhaps, to other people. So I'll not bore you.
We're late.
I'm here, I've made it, and you see me, I've got to go. My mother's raging.
Colette.
Gavin's watching me.
Look, we've been through this before.
For Christ's sake.
Well, I think the drama's in the situation. And originally when I read the script, the interesting thing about Colette was the situation rather than who she was. Really, who she was an open book, in the sense that I was ready to write in it, or somebody was going to write in it. Not that she was open to the world, but that she was a blank canvas, maybe is a better way to describe it. And the thing that I always loved about James's documentaries is that he waits just that extra beat to get inside a true moment where somebody exposes themselves accidentally to the world. And that's not a cruelty. He doesn't do it with cruelty. He does it with respect and kindness, and he's very fair, and he's a very good man, he's a very good person, you know, for whatever that means. He's very warm and empathic and caring and gentle with people. But he also allows the truth to just happen, to just come out itself. And in documentaries like Man on Wire, and especially in Project Nim, I thought there were moments where people hadn't resolved decisions within themselves morally. And although they were saying they had, there was a slight glimpse that they hadn't. And that was just James leaving the camera rolling for a beat too long and really using that moment. And I was hoping that we could use that and explore that when we were making Shadow Dancer. And the less that I asked that Colette spoke, the more that we could do that. Because the one connection that we have to really what's going on inside of her is her eyes. But then there's a battle. We have to see that she, even in her eyes, is trying to conceal her own truth.
I'm dead. I'm dead. That's the choice I've made.
No, you're not. That is not going to happen. I'm not going to let that happen.
The scene really isn't romantic in any way. No. That scene's a wonderful scene because it didn't make sense to us to either Clive or I for a long time. Or rather, I think it didn't make sense to Clive for a long time. I always found that there was a nonsensical reality to it. Because in a situation as desperate and paranoid as theirs is, I think that you just fight for anything that makes you feel human. And so that moment's very feral. It's just a feral moment. And really, I think it could have been so many people in front of Colette right there. So yeah, it's an interesting moment.
We do this together, but you have to be sure.
We need to talk. Now.
You make a mistake, I'm dead.
We lose you in London. But then you're back like nothing ever happened. Don't leave Belfast. We're not done yet.
Gavin knows.
It's his job to make you think he knows.
I can't hold on any longer. I need the word now.
I want to take her out.
That's out of the question. She's only just got started.
She doesn't know her hand, is the thing. I don't think she knows who she is, and I think, you know, she has a very keen sense of self, but it's so private, and anything that she does, anything that she wants or needs has been so long denied. So although her sense of self is strong and she's very powerful, she's lost in many ways. And the thing that she's very solid about are her political beliefs and the cause, and that's very clear to her because she's living in a place with 85% unemployment, where soldiers have permission to shoot people in the head with rubber bullets, children.
You do this, I'll play as dead.
Did you kill him? Did you kill him? You said nobody dies, nobody gets hurt.